Hey guys, well, I'm gonna try to make my leaving home video for Laura that you had requested that I make. Hazel and I just managed to survive a very meaty storm in which the weatherman told us, for those living in Burchardville, get in your basement and seek shelter. So I grabbed Hazel and we hid in the basement and prayed and tried not to imagine the sounds of freight trains barreling down on the house. So all is well. The storm passed, and oh, I can't switch it while I'm doing it. One day I'll get good at this, but right now I'm not. I was going to show you Hazel. I'll just pause it and show it to you. There she is. She's waiting for me to play with her favorite toy, string tied to the pencil sharpener, which my dad concocted, and she absolutely loves. So she likes to make weird noises too. Yeah, she's pretty cute. What can I say? So, I was hoping to give this a little more thought, but I did really want to make the video. I'm just waiting for my oil to heat up because I'm going to make pad thai in this lovely box mix, which just add chicken breast, bean sprouts, and peanuts, and you've got yourself a sensational meal. And it's not even a farce. It's pretty delicious. So yeah, without further ado, my leaving home moment. My parents and I had visited Liberty a little bit before I came down there, and every time I had visited Liberty, both in college for a weekend and with my parents beforehand in the spring, I was very excited. To me, Liberty was like the Christian Disneyland, and I was wicked psyched. And I packed my things. I mean, all summer I got ready. I went to Kingdom Bound. I packed all my stuff, said goodbye to people, had my graduation party, got towels from my pastor's wife, and yeah, I was psyched. I was psyched until I got right about here. Madison, Virginia. I recognized it from both college for a weekend and my first trip down with my parents. Once we hit Madison, this charming little town, my heart stopped, and I realized that something very horrifying was about to happen to me. So, we drove through Madison. We got to Lynchburg, everything looking familiar. My breathing increased, my blood pressure rising, and everything happened in a blur at that point. And we pulled around the circle to the back of the circle to dorm 26-1, and the car, laden with all my burdens, spewed me out onto the sidewalk, and I pushed into the 66-girl capacity floor of 26-1. Jennifer Schmidt and, oh no, Jen wasn't my RA then, she was just my prayer leader. I did not meet her yet, I take that back. Casey, whose new last name is Sconyers, and I cannot remember her last name, and Chastity, whose new last name is Harden, and I can't remember her old last name, were my RAs, and they welcomed me with a key and a little yellow form that I filled out, and I must have looked like a deer in the headlights. I was terrified. Yeah, it was horrifying. And, yeah, it just was a blur of making trips to Walmart to buy things we didn't realize we needed, hanging out with Sharon Forbes' family and another Canadian family. That I had two Canadian roommates, Sharon Forbes and Brittany Schroeder, and trying to go to different campus events with them and feeling totally out of place. And I remember the moment my parents left, knowing that it was coming, after getting the warning from Jerry Falwell that it was going to come, and him telling us that if we needed to, we could hide ourselves in the bathroom and cry, and we probably would have to do that, but that it would get better. I hugged my mom and my dad in my dorm, and we all cried a little bit more hysterically than the situation warranted. And my dad kissed me on the cheek. If you know my dad, I haven't kissed my parents or experienced anything like that since I was like, I don't know, really cute in an infant stage. And yeah, it was hard for all of us, and it kind of hit us in that moment. And they left me in the room alone, and I lost it. I was like, this is it. This is the beginning of the end of my life. I'm never going home again. Little did I know I'd be sitting here at age 25, but I'm okay with that. But yes, I called my sister-in-law in a frantic panic. She tried to comfort me, and then my roommate came back to say goodbye to her parents, and I realized I had to leave the room, and I started to walk to the post office, which was only behind, I think it was the Shilling Center back then. It was like this tiny little hole, and like in the courtyard behind what was the hangar. I walked over there to see if my laptop had come, and I got almost all the way to the door, and I realized if I ask her for my laptop, I'm going to start crying, and it's going to be really bad. So I turned around. I think I walked all the way to North, which didn't have anything in it at the time. I walked all around campus, and I got really sweaty and gross, and listened to the cicadas. Don't you miss the cicadas in Lynchburg? Walked up the ramps and those stupid little princess stairs. Yeah, and I felt totally lost. I came back to my room. Me and Sharon Forbes cried, sitting on her bed, missing our parents. It was a very hard month. And then I realized that I was in the place that I was supposed to be. Sorry, that was kind of long. It's going to take a while to upload onto my computer. But, yes, I think I had a similar discovery when we moved into the apartment, that I wasn't coming home. And you know what? I have come home. But I'm not really home, if that makes any sense. I'm eager for the day when well, we all know this because I struggle with it all the time. For the day when I have my own family and my own home. I think God has kind of been disconnecting me from home for a while, and when the opportunity presents itself, when God brings it to happen, I will be ready for it. But I think as Christians, as believers, I think we are constantly in a state of realizing that we're leaving home. We're leaving an earthly home. Every day we get closer to leaving this home and going to a real one. And I was thinking about that last night as I was driving somewhere. Maybe I was driving home. Ironic. But there's a song by Jars of Clay that says, all the promises of faith come alive when we see home. And I thought, I don't have a death wish. I'm not morbid. But I can't wait for that day. Oh, man. Everything will make sense. There'll be no more tears. There'll be no more stress. There'll be no more worry. We'll be with our Savior. We'll be where we're supposed to be. I mean, if you think about it, it's unnatural for us to be here. Our home and the place that we long for is beyond the clouds, and one day we'll get to see it. And so whatever our situation is here on earth, I mean, these little separations and little crises of identity, though they seem huge at the time, like going to college for the first moment, they're so minor. They're so minor. Anyway, that was kind of off topic, but yeah, sometimes I just think I can't wait to go to my real home where I belong. It's nice to know that we belong somewhere. Well, sorry if that took a dramatic turn, and I'm sorry that I'm just doing this while sitting on the couch in poor lighting, because that's kind of annoying, but I will try to make a more fun video soon. Sorry, campers, that got cut off. I'm terrible at this.